Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 3 of this 30-day Living an Authentic Life Challenge. Today, we're having a conversation about change. And change is something that we often don't like because the only thing that we really would love to have always is a constant path. But change is the only constant that truly exists. And for those of you that are just getting the chance to meet me, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad you guys are here. This conversation that we're having is taking place here on Zoom. And if you are watching us live and you are not in here, you're only going to get a snippet of this discussion. And this challenge goes on for the next 30 days. I'm unpacking a topic every day to support you on the journey. And with our conversation about change, yeah, it's often uncomfortable. We don't like it. We hate going through it, especially when it shows up through chaos, conflict, and uncertainty. And we find ourselves in an environment lots of times where we are wondering, when will this end? And that's a change that we often want to welcome. But I want you to consider that if this is your first time thinking that, how will I make it through? You've done this before. This is not your first rodeo walking through change. What you're experiencing, the thing that you would love to have be different, it will, and you will get through it. Because change isn't always all bad. When we walk through those experiences where it's like, how, when, what, that's when you really want change to take place. And especially when you find yourselves in a situation where it seems like there are people that are rising up early just to think of ways to oppress those around them because they have the power to do so. Or you really want change to take place then, and you want it to happen immediately. But in those moments, sometimes you got to go through the storm. And if you find yourself in a moment where you have to walk through the storms of life because the change that you want to happen now isn't, well, here's something I want you to do. Pause before you start panicking. Panic doesn't give your brain an opportunity to think. When you panic makes you have your body go through a change. And in that moment when you are panicking, your brain, hey, welcome, glad that you are here while we walk through the rest of the conversation. Just explaining how when we find ourselves panicking, we have to pause because your brain is not picking up that you can be safe and you start spiraling out. And as you spiral out because you're panicking, you don't often pause enough to give yourself the chance to do the shifts. And it's in the shifts of life that we get the opportunity to adjust. So if you find yourself in those moments where you are shifting, breathe, taking a deep breath in, calms your nerves, and let your body know you can get through this. I also want you to ask yourself, what about this moment is teaching me? This change came for a reason. It didn't just show up just to be showing up, even though sometimes we would love to have things stay constant. But like I said earlier, the only thing constant is change. So embrace it. And when you embrace it and give your mind the opportunity to know, I'm okay, we'll get through it. The next thing you can do, shift your focus. When you shift your focus from what you lost to the lesson or what the chaotic moment is, to what is this conflict going to reveal to me? It opens up a door. And sometimes for some of us, we don't often recognize that the door that gets open is the door that you actually prayed for. But the storm had to come to wipe out some things. Because when we walk through some of the things that's happening in our lives, we won't make the changes that we really need to until we're forced to. But let me also leave you with this. This thought about change for those of you that are watching us on a public platform. This conversation is going to be extended for those that are joining us on Zoom. So thank you guys so much for being here. And if you are not joining us on Zoom, then you need to click the link below and join us because this conversation takes place over the next 30 days, pulling out 12 different topics. And this is just day 3. And in this day, we need some conversation about how to get through change. Because here's the thing that we don't pay enough attention to. Some of the times when we're walking through some experiences where it seems like injustice is taking place, where chaos is just reigning, and people that aren't paying attention to how they are affecting others along the way, God sees it. He recognizes it's there. And when that storm came, he may have decided that in order for me to clear up all this mess, that storm that is spinning out of control, God is right in the middle of it with you. And if you listen for the still small voice, you'll hear lessons, lessons that will anchor you for your next season. Because when storms come, they come to clear out the mess so you can see, okay, now I have a clear path. This is the next thing that I can do. And sometimes that storm comes because you don't know how strong you are. You've been coasting, being constant. And when you're coasting, being constant, it made you comfortable. And in your comfort, you're not growing. We don't often think about the fact that comfortable places don't offer an opportunity for growth that takes place. When you're growing, you get the chance to see you're strengthened. And here's another thing that happens when the storm shows up, because this is what I'm walking through right now, y'all. This storm that I'm sitting in the middle of is giving me true clarity that I got holes in my journey. There are things that exist that I didn't pay enough attention to until this storm came to reveal to me, Tanya, you need to shore that up. Tanya, that's a hot mess right there. Tanya, what are you doing? So now that my storm has been swirling and making changes that I really didn't want to happen. But I remember like I'm hoping you remember, this is not your first storm. You will get through this. And in the midst of this moment right here, right now, today, I encourage you. Join us for the extended conversation because there's more insight that I'm going to provide about how to get through the changes of life. And if you are looking for an opportunity to have the conversation, this is where it's going to take place. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood walking in my journey, and I want you to do the same.